Hello, my name is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. You're watching part 3 in this series that I'm creating, My Board Game Life. If you missed the first 2 in the series, you can find them on my YouTube channel, or they might even be linked later on in this video. The first video was about how board games influenced my childhood. The second video was Married with Children, the 25 years from 1989 to 2014, when I began to start to understand a little bit more about modern board gaming. This third video is Married with Grandchildren. This is from 2015 to 2018, just a snippet, a 3-year time span, when 10 more games crept into the collection, and our board gaming hobby as a family and mine as an individual began to change even more. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is in this time frame is when I discovered the Dice Tower, and I started understanding about video reviews, watching video reviews primarily from Dice Tower to learn about which games I would enjoy to help me hunt down those games that I would really love the best and that my family might love the best. I also learned about BoardGameGeed and created an account with BoardGameGeed. I didn't really know how to use it too much, but I was using it to find out great games and to learn about some of the games I was interested in. I also learned how to order used games through Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace during these 3 years, and that helped me collect a few of the games in that way. So let me talk about the 10 games in this 3-year time span. And it's a unique time because it was, as I said, when our grandchildren were born. Our 2 oldest grandchildren were born this year, 2015, the beginning of this era. And at the time, we had not just my wife and I, but also our oldest daughter and her husband and their newborn, and our second daughter and her husband Fred and their newborn, and then our other son when he was home from college. At times, we were all of us living in the same house. And so it was a really wonderful time. It was a magical time in some ways. We got to spend so much time with our 2 newborn grandbabies, Ella and Vienna. We got to know and love our sons-in-law even better, Fred and Aaron. I got to coach basketball with Fred and Aaron. It was just a wonderful time, a time that we never could predict would have happened, but due to their life situations and our life situation, it was a wonderful time when we had that time together. And we played a lot of board games, and we started adding some board games to the list that I showed you in video 2 if you've watched that. So the first one I want to mention is kind of an extension back to that Klaus Tuber, that whole Catan genre, and that is Catan the Dice Game. So just a small little game. We played it if we just wanted a real quick game in. This is another one that as a couple, my wife and I would sometimes play just to get a quick game in and enjoy some time together. We also found a new kind of a game. I think, again, I might have found this at Target, and that is Dixit. And if you haven't played Dixit, it's got pictures worth 1,000 words. So you're looking at these really incredible pictures and trying to make up what you think the stories are. And it's been a while since I played it, so I might be a little hazy on exactly the way. We haven't played it much lately. But I remember really having some great laughs and some great fun family time with that. The next game is one that I was really excited to see, and I found it used on Craigslist, I think, and drove up to Michigan from Indiana to pick it up, and that is Risk, Lord of the Rings, the Trilogy Edition. I love Risk. You've seen it in both of the other 2 videos if you've watched them. And I also love the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie trilogy. I love movies, but it's one of my favorites. And I remember just spending actually days with Fred and Aaron and Abby, and we set out the game on the big table, and every night for days on end, it seemed like for a couple of weeks, we would play a little bit and then go to bed and play a little bit the next night and go to bed, and we just extended to several games over several different days. So much fun playing Lord of the Rings Risk. And the next game is kind of when we started to see not only our kids enjoying playing board games with us, but realizing how much I loved games, and they started buying board games for us. So the next few were some Christmas gifts that we ended up getting over the next couple of years from our kids. One from my son was Plague. He really loved Pandemic. We all loved Pandemic. And he liked this funny game Plague that he was playing on his phone, and he found the board game and got it for me for Christmas. So that was a really exciting gift, and we enjoyed playing that one together. Another one which I don't have, so I'll have to put a picture up here on the screen to my, I guess this side. So you'll see a picture of it, but we don't own it anymore. It's one that I traded, which I'll talk to you a little bit more about in the next video, and that is Photosynthesis. And it was a really fun game and really a gorgeous game. But we, after several plays, it kind of fell by the wayside. We hadn't played it in years, and so it was one that I traded away. And I'll talk to you more about that in video 4 if you watch it. The next game is Splendor. And this is one that I don't actually remember for sure if we got it as a gift. I think our kids did. It's, I'm getting older. My memory's not the greatest, but Splendor, Cities of Splendor expansion. I remember hearing Abby and Fred talking about this game that they had played in a game shop. And I do believe maybe they did get this one for us as a gift. And then we added the expansion later. Just wonderful times playing Splendor with the kids as well. We had loved Pandemic, like I said, and so we then expanded into Pandemic Iberia. And my wife used this actually in her classroom. She taught several different biology classes and some biotech and epidemiology related classes. And when they had some time at the end of the year and they were just looking for something exciting to do after the AP exams and such, they pulled this game out a couple of times and played it. And we also loved playing it at home. The next one is one that I bought as, it wasn't a Kickstarter, but it was kind of a pre-order, and it was Alhambra Big Box. And I won't show you the other one, but the reason I got it as kind of a package deal, it was Alhambra Big Box, but then it also came with Alhambra the Special Big Box, and it was some sort of a package deal. I can't remember if it was on Amazon or where it was, but it was our introduction into Alhambra. And to be honest, we haven't even actually played very many games from the special box, but we played quite a few of the expansions out of this one and really enjoy Alhambra. And then you can tell one of my classic favorites is obviously Risk, and we decided we would try Risk Europe. So I found a used version of this. I figured it would kind of be like an upgraded version of Castle Risk, which in some ways it is. And so we enjoyed learning Risk Europe. And then the last one, Risk Revised. So again, you can see Risk is a common theme in my collection. And I haven't actually played Risk that much in the last few years, but this has that soft spot in my heart. Like I said in video 1, it was the one game in my childhood that sort of inspired me not only to love to play games, but even to consider maybe someday making my own. So those are 10 games that came in 2015 to 2018 into our lives, and how they inspired our gameplay and continued to grow our collection. So at this point in 2018 in my game board life, I had about 30 games in the collection. And I was feeling like I was pretty accomplished until I started watching some other board game reviewers and realizing 30 games is small. And that didn't make me want to feel competitive in terms of buying more games, but it really opened my eyes to how many games there were and how many kinds of games there were that I had never experienced before. So I'll expand on that a little bit more in the next video. If you're interested in watching that, you may want to hit like and subscribe to this video, and then click the bell so you'll get notifications for when that video 4 in the series comes out. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. This is Bill Indiana signing off.